Hi there, my name is Steve, this is TQA Weekly, and I'm going to be talking about my last week. Last weekend there was an ice storm in Quebec, especially in the south where I live, and this created an unstable electrical grid that led to some issues in the province and for various people and equipment. My workplace has half a dozen computers connected to UPSs, and a UPS is an uninterruptible power supply. Whenever there is a power surge, a surge protector will trip and it will actually allow the computer to continue functioning on the battery, but these batteries are usually connected by USB or some sort of other interface to a computer, and when the battery load is critical, the computers turn off. One of these computers was the ATM. Now, let's get to Monday. Monday I come in, the ATM's dead, but I don't have time right away to deal with it. Anyway, the service number for it is 24 hours. I have other work to do. During my beginning of my shift, one of the connected devices had failed, and I had to try to fix said connected device to no avail. No matter how many times I reset it, turned off the power, turned it back on, or whatever, it had basically died. And I basically know what's going to happen. I wouldn't be able to cut my shift anyway. So no matter what I do to fix that connected device, it was going to be an issue that upper management would have to deal with the next day. After having finished most of my job for that day, I finally communicate with the bank of the ATM machine, keeping in mind that that shouldn't be a problem considering this is publicly accessible, so it's not necessarily a client accessing and calling this number. It needs a client number card. 0 star pound, 0 star pound, 0 star pound for like who knows how long, and then it finally like, okay, whatever, here's service à la clientèle, so client services. And I tell them right off the bat, I am calling because your ATM is not functional. It is dead. I need tech support to come in and fix it. Person apparently doesn't listen, says, can you put your ATM card in machine? Like, excuse me, madam. That won't work. It's dead. This is the ID. This is the address of the place. Just send tech support to fix it. She puts me on hold for 20 minutes, comes back, and I'm like, do I really need to stay on this phone? After all, the ATM is dead. And I had already checked the breaker while checking the breaker for the other connected device. She finally just hangs up and whatever. This is Monday. So I have a connected device failed on Monday. The ATM had died during the weekend. And now we come to Tuesday. Tuesday, still having problem with said connected device. Upper management decides it's a much better idea, since they've been trying to communicate for a long time with this department, which is actually contracted and not part of our main company. It's a better idea for me to talk to them. Why? Because I actually know what I'm talking about. I've worked in computer stores. I've programmed for many years. I build my own computers, fix other people's computer. Heck, I even do this show. So I pick up the phone and I start explaining all my woes about how this stupid computer from Hewlett-Packard is basically pissing me off, and how the connected device is also preventing me from doing my job. So I'm like, okay, so first of all, the connected device has basically failed, and the computer is also having issues because the RAID array, which is in RAID 1, is also missing a drive because the drive failed. It's degraded, and that also means that the array itself is degraded and it's throwing out errors. That is making our job virtually impossible to do. The person doesn't know what RAID is. RAID is random array of inexpensive drives. So 2 or more hard drives in order to do some sort of data security. By the way, the second a drive fails, you have to change it because it's basically going to cause all kinds of other issues if you don't. So I tell them they have to change a drive or change a computer because that's going to be an issue for us and has been an issue for a year. They get further into this, but not yet. for the connected device. The person tries to tell me to turn off the power on it. I'm like, I already did that. Reinitialize, I'm like, no, I already did this. Yep, it's like, no, I already did this. I'm calling you because everything that we're supposed to do, which we have done, has failed. I need this resolved. So obviously, we're talking to a bunch of people that think we don't know what we're doing. We already have their sheets of what to do, which they, by the way, emitted to us. So all of this stuff is already done. We know the machine is dead. We need somebody to fix said machine. What I need from them is a solution for that particular issue. The main technician we called didn't have access remotely because his credentials expired. And then, on top of all that, and not knowing what RAID is, has to get a coworker to help log in. The coworker logs in, disables that thing, and then we try to cut and it doesn't work. So I do a soft reset and we try to cut again and it still doesn't work even after the 20 seconds. Or like, wait a second, no, it's like, no. If it didn't work after 20 seconds, forget it. Now these computers are so locked down because they're paranoid that virtually every option in Windows is basically gone, including restart and shut down. So I'm like, you know what? I am going to shut down this computer and reboot it so that we can actually try cutting again. So I close the computer and their mind is blown. How did you do that? Okay, this is how I did it. Apparently they should know this because they're supposed to be A+ certified. ACPI was something basically put out in 1998. It allowed Windows 98 to be able to turn off your computer, something not previously possible with Windows 95 and earlier. All you have to do is hit the power button for 1 second and the computer will safely shut down. This is part of hardware. This has existed for like 22 years. And this person's like, how'd you do that? No, you should already know what that is. Somebody who's in tech support should know what ACPI is and what AHCI is. You know, two basic terms that have to do with hardware and configurations in their own computers. So they're mind blown. I finally cut it and I'm like, I want a new computer because a new hard drive would take too long and everything here is time sensitive. So it's supposed to take 30 minutes to an hour to install. This is Tuesday. Now let's jump to Thursday. I'm not there until about the afternoon. They came in just before I came. They just left as I came in basically. And what ends up happening is it took them 2 hours to do the 30-minute job of replacing said computer. The connected device is still disabled. And while everything does work, I still need to get another technician to fix the connected device. Talk about professional. Then again, what am I expecting? They don't know what RAID is or how people turn off computers by simply using a power button. We shouldn't be surprised at this point. Now, the ATM that I called on Monday for, the technician opens up the ATM, starts messing in it, can't get anything to power because apparently he's not lighting up, and decides that he's going to have to get somebody to unbolt it from the floor and move it forward because there's things around it and he doesn't have access to the plug, which I already know is fine because I already tested the breaker on Monday. Tell him the device on the left has wheels, which you could easily see. Checks the plug, it's fine. Doesn't realize that the box on top has two wires, two cables coming out of it. Doesn't click. Yet he's one of these guys that installed these things. Like, you're going to open the box. You're going to visit the UPS. Check the surge sensor on it. Just click the button. And lo and behold, the damn thing restarts. The battery was critical, 25%. Obviously, the ATM would be powered off. Why? Because that's how the UPS works. It tells said device to turn off because the battery is critical. He reinitializes this ATM and it comes back to life. And you're like, really? Really? So I got two technicians that are unaware of ACPI. unaware about RAID and the configurations of my computers, and a ATM technician that doesn't know what wheels are, or that the UPS surge protector would trip because of the ice storm, which is not something that's rare in Quebec. It's actually pretty standard for our winters. That is my week of horror of tech support. All these problems could have easily been solved by me had I had physical access to said thing or access to the actual software, but people are paranoid in these days, and most of us are left to contend with people that haven't actually earned their certification to one degree or another. So if you're one of those A+ certified or any kind of leveled certified people, please write down below your woes with tech support and other coworkers. You don't need to name them. And if you're anybody inside of a business that has had issue with IT and tech support, write it down below. Like if you like it, dislike it if you didn't, share with those that you think could benefit from this, and don't forget to subscribe. And if you have any questions, comments, suggestions for topics, email me at ask@tqaweekly.com or go to my website, tqaweekly.com, where you can see the show notes for this episode, past others, find other ways of subscribing, and of course use the contact form to email me directly. And of course, if you want to see me play The Witcher 3, go to twitch.tv/zaxis1981. I play on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, starting at midnight and going as long as 3 or even 4 in the morning. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.